Woods in Telford early on a Sunday morning, and you're probably wondering why. Well, it's because I got a good offer on a car I've sort of looked at for quite some time, an Ml55 Amg. It's actually in Nottingham, so we're going to go up there, have a look at it, and possibly drive it back home. So keep on the channel, because we're doing regular updates. It's going to be a project car for the channel, and hopefully we'll get to see a good car, and I'll give you a walk around once we've maybe done the deal. So you can probably tell by what's behind me that we went ahead with the deal. Let's have a little walk around. I got it for a very good price, which I'll tell you soon, but let's have a look first. The bodywork, it needs quite a lot done. As you can see, there are some rust areas, not just in that place. There's some at the front, there's some at the back. The bumper needs a fix. It's got issues. We're not gonna, you know, play around. It has got issues. However, mechanically, it's done a 200-mile drive back home, and it was smooth. The engine was good, the gearbox was great. The interior's not too bad, it just needs a very good clean. Surprisingly, the sat nav is working, picks up satellites, no problem at all. Sunroof works. Heated seats work, electric seats work. It's not bad at all. Even the folding mirrors work. There's a few things that I'm probably going to remove. For instance, they've tinted the headlights and decided to use foil on one of the lights there, the fogs. God knows what that's all about. So they're going to be changed. I think I'm going to remove the tint because it just, I don't know, looks a bit tacky for my liking. And as you can see, the rust again. But overall, it's a decent solid car. And even on the drive up here, it was comfortable. The chairs are comfy. Yeah, overall good. Good tread on the tyres, the brakes are new. It's definitely had a new water pump. It's had a new power steering pump and a few other things. So it's a good start. So how much did I get it for? 5 grand? 4 grand? 3 grand? Nope, I paid 1,750 for this. 1,750. I think that's a bargain. Remember, when we got this ML, we have this very interesting situation where this fog light here has got foil in it. Don't know what's been going on there, but today we got a parcel which would be a new fog. So these fog lights seem to be going for anything well over £100. However, I managed to find this one new, old stock, for the wonderful sum of £40. So I'm looking forward to getting this fog light replaced, because it does look a bit silly with foil in there. So we'll get the old one out and hopefully get this new one in. So it's a little bit fiddly. You basically have to take off this cover. It pops off with a suitable little pry tool, plastic one there. Once you've got that off, there's the wiring's actually up here, and you have to sort of unclip it and then use an Allen key to undo this bolt that goes onto this bracket, which we've transferred from the old one here to this new one, and remove it from You can see it, that bracket. There was a bracket up there. It's hiding pretty well. There you go, something there. So now we've got this one out, let's get the new one in. Okay, so that's the new one kind of in place. Well, it actually is in place. All we got to do now is put this cover back on. I'm just going to test it before I do that. So, yep, all good. I'm now going to put the cover back on. Like that. And that's job done. Happy with that. Nice cheap fix. So this is the one that came off, and you can see why I guess they put foil in it, because it was literally covered in rust. So yeah, but anyway, that's replaced now, so all good. So that's the new fog in. Let's make sure it works. Fingers crossed, everybody. Yes, result. Another nice cheap fix. Hi everyone, so today we're going to tackle these headlights. We're going to see if we can clean them, buff them and polish them up so that we can get them looking a bit more newer than what they look at the moment. And my item of choice, because I've used it before and it came up quite good, is the Auto Glim Headlight Restoration Complete Kit. I think I got this for a really good price of like 15 quid or something from Halfords on an offer. So we'll give that a go and I'll report back at how good it was or not. Okay, so we've now done the second stage, which is the wet stage. Yeah, it's looking cleaner, but it's not looking like new. So now we go to the next bit, which is the actual polishing. So I'll reserve judgment because I'm a bit sceptical at the moment, but I'll reserve judgment until we've done that bit. Okay, so the passenger side came out really well. I think I might re-go over the driver's side, but yeah, this came out good. And as you can see, so it's quite good. So I'm impressed with that. As I say, I'll probably do the driver's side again at some point. But it definitely came out good. It was worth half hour, 45 minutes on each one. So yeah, pleased with that. Yeah, I'd recommend it. So today we've got the car jacked up because we're going to do some work underneath. Starting with this missing piece. So there should be a drop link there. I'll show you this packet, what it looks like. This long bar, and it's completely missing. It's on the other side, although I'm going to replace that side anyway. But yeah, we're going to get on with that today. And as you can see, we're going to have to do some lano guarding to help out with this rust. It looks like it's had a new suspension arm at some point, and maybe even a bottom one. It looks like parts of the bottom have also been lano guarded as well, but it's going to need some more. But let's get on with this today and see how we get on. So, lunch break is over, and amazingly, it went in really well, really easy. Gonna do the other side later today, but happy with that. So now we know we've got a proper drop link on that side, and then we'll put the wheel on and then do the other one later. So I'm now on the other side. This one does have a drop link in, but I'm going to replace it with a nice shiny new one anyway. So I'm going to undo the bolt here, which basically is a long screw that goes from the top to the bottom, and with it undone you then pull it out and the whole thing just falls out, and then you put the new one in. So let's see how tight this is on. So as you can see, the new one's been put in on this side as well now. I had to use a pry bar on here to lift it up a bit because of how the car's jacked up. It didn't give me enough space initially to get this one in. but it's now in. We're now going to put the wheel back on, and that'll be that done. I've got bushes for the rear here, however this seems to be okay. I do wonder if those bolts here will rip or break trying to get them out, but luckily they don't necessarily need doing at the moment. There's no play on it, so that's quite good. So yeah, we're finished up here on this drop link. We're going to move to the front of the car later, and let's get this wheel back on. Hi YouTubers, so these fanfare horns looking a bit sorry for themselves, especially this one. Yeah, very sorry for itself. Anyway, we decided time to replace them with some nice new ones. Got this Miler kit, which is actually really good. There's the part number. This was just £20 for 2 brand new horns, as you can see, with nuts and stuff. Bearing in mind Mercedes wanted like 40 odd quid per horn, or even more than that, I can't remember now. So we're going to put these on and freshen them up. So let's get going. Let's see what they sound like. Brilliant, they both work. Job done. So today we're going to try and have a go of replacing this window. As you can see, there was scratches done on the glass. Nothing wrong with it, it's not cracked or anything, but it just doesn't look nice. I got a replacement one for 15 quid, I think it was, or 17 quid. So the plan is we're going to take off the door liner, hopefully unscrew the bolts for the window, and then get the new window in. That's the plan. Let's see how we go. Stripped down to this stage now, and I've pulled back this so I can get access to this area. I'm kind of hoping that when we put the window down, we'll then get access to the bolts that hold that glass in place. So let's see. Looking at the Mercedes document, it looks like we need to get the window to a position where we can see the bolt by the speaker. So we need to bring the window down so that we basically see the bolt in this corner, and then we can start trying to get that window out. In the meantime, I also need to remove these runner things, I think they are. The two ceiling seals come off nicely. The one that's on this inside, you just pop off with a small plastic prise tool, it pops off. And on the other side, there's a screw here. You undo that screw that's there, and then pop off the outside trim. So this now gives you the width that's enough to get the window out. And obviously now we're at this stage, we undo that bolt, and I'll read the instructions, but it's generally a matter of moving this about to get the window out basically. So we'll give that a go now. window is in, and all working good. Very happy with that. Wasn't too bad. The only thing I would say is Mercedes document says to put it out, lifting it up on the left. That didn't work for me. It was better to push it up and put it out from the right. Anyway, job got done, and the glass is in. No scratches. Happy. Job done. Hi YouTubers, so today we're going to do a couple of maintenance service things. We're going to change the oil filter, the air filter, the oil, and we're also going to change the fluid in the differentials. Now, when I got this car, the seller said to me he had just done a service. Do I trust things like that? Don't know, but it's a new car to me, so we're going to start from fresh. We're going to go with the proper AMG oil. We're going to go with a genuine Mercedes oil filter. We're going to go with a MAN filter, because that's actually what Mercedes use on this engine. It's a MAN filter. We've got a 10mm socket here to undo the differential. We've got a 12mm here, I think it is. Sorry, 13mm to undo the oil. The oil we're using for the differential is going to be Febby's. It needs to be 75W-85, and it needs to be Mercedes. If you see it down there, 23574 and 2357, which is what this is. The difference in price, this one cost me about a tenner. Mercedes wanted 25 quid, I think it was. To pump that into the differential, we're using this tool here by Laser. I've used it before with different cars to get differential oil in. Works really well. So the first thing we're going to do is crack the bolt for the actual oil under here, and we'll also probably crack the one for the differential. Main thing to remember before we do the differential one is make sure we can crack the filler hole, the filler nut first, because you don't want to drain it and then find out you can't put stuff back in. So let's get started. Start off by undoing the oil filter housing to loosen it off, and then also going to loosen off the filler cap, just to release any pressure and stuff, and then we'll go underneath the car. So as you can see, they are released now and loose, but now let's go underneath and start draining that oil. We managed to crack the nut, and here it is draining. As you can see, I managed to miss the bowl initially. Very annoying. We'll let that drain anyway. And what is very naughty is they didn't even put a washer on the bolt. So we'll have to put a new washer on there as well. People, eh? People. So you can see here, the seller has used the cheap, sort of like a fabric one. It's not what these engines like. These engines are really sensitive to having the right filters. So we'll get this one off along with all the old rings. There we go, there's the old one. Hengst, looks like it is. You'll see the difference in the Mercedes one in a moment when I get the Mercedes one on. Get these. I mean, this O-ring is almost like it's not holding at all. I'm glad I'm doing this. Just goes to show when people say, oh, the car's had a full service. Yeah. That's why I like making sure when I get a car I do a service myself. So that's all our O-rings on. We'll keep that as a spare. We'll bung these away in a bin. Does feel quite heavy though, the Hengst one. And then we'll put our filter on. Much more tighter fit as well. Wow, what a difference. And then it clicks in. We'll get that back in the engine. Febby oil. And what was really cool is it ended up that the lid of the container I was going to use, the pump container, actually fits on the Febby thing. Anyway, the idea of this is that you poke this pipe into the fill hole, and we basically keep pumping until oil comes out, and then we just put the screw back in. So we'll keep pumping. Let's see how we go. So we managed to get it in, as you can see it's there, and I had to sort of jiggle these pipes gently left and right to get purchase on the threads first, and then once you've got the threads it was alright going. So we're going to have to repeat that process on the back differential, but in the meantime I'm going to go up top now and start filling her up with the AMG oil and do the air filter. So at present we've got 7 litres in, so we'll check the dipstick and see what it looks like on the dipstick while we're also then doing the air filter on this side. Let's get some rag out, take off our dipstick. So you join me on the rear differential. These were really tight. Not hard to get to, that one. That one was ridiculously hard, but they were both really tight to the point where I thought I'm gonna break my tools or I'm gonna break the bolt. Anyway, ended up using an Allen key on a long socket on a long extension to get to that one up there. Because you can't get a socket to it, I had to improvise and have some, as I was saying, had to have some sort of way of being able to get to that. So yeah, it was an Allen key on a long socket on a long extension. So I'm gonna get these open and let it start draining and carry on. Got it done. So the thread was okay, I just was not able to do it by my fingers. Obviously it got tighter. So we're now filled up, we've had the service done. I ended up using, if I can show you, this tool, because it was a shallower end here, it could get up there easier. We tightened that up. So that's it, we've done the engine service, the 2 differentials. My next stop is going to be the gearbox down there. It looks like the pan itself has got some rust appearing on it, so I'm going to get a new pan. I've already got the service kit and the oil from Mercedes, But for now, that's the differentials and the engine done. So hope that's been enjoyable for you. Part of the servicing we want to do is this transfer case. So we need to obviously make sure we can undo the fuel first before we undo the drain. We'll drain the oil. I'll show you the oil that we need to use to go back in it. So I'm going to get these, make sure I can undo these first. So this is the oil that we need to use in the transfer case, and this is the method which we used before on the differentials. We basically put some of this oil into there and pump it in. When it starts overflowing out of the fuel hole, we know that it's got enough. This oil in particular needs to be Mercedes-Benz 23610 Dexron 3. They're the ingredients that are required for the transfer case, so that's why we're using this oil to go back in. It's red, the same as the automatic transmission fluid, but the transmission fluid is 236.14. This specifically needs 236.10, so that's what we're going to put back in. Okay, so we filled up a little pumper with the oil we need. So we put this into the fuel hole. And we start pumping. And we keep doing this now until she starts pouring out of the fuel hole. And that is us done. It's as simple as that. Job done. Okay, so we're gonna do this gearbox service. I can see the pan is rusted up. There's no leaks, but I think we're gonna change it for a new one. So the plan is we undo this here, which is a 5mm Allen, and then we undo all the bolts once it's drained to some level. We undo all the bolts, which are 6 bolts, I think they are, with a T30 Torx. We'll also get to the plug that we need to replace up here. Replace the filter, replace it with the new pan, put the new screws that we've got with the kit back in place, and obviously change that plug up there. So let's get started. A few ways that people do this. Because really what you get from just draining the gearbox is about 3 to 4 litres, but there's a lot more in the system. What some people do is they put some sort of like air sort of pressure hose in the filter socket to push out more and leave it to drain for longer. There's also other ways of doing it. The way I'm going to do it is I'm just going to do the 3 to 4 litres that are in here, run it for a bit, and then do another drain from this drain and refill it again. Each time putting back in what we've taken out, and eventually after 2, maybe 3 of these drains, we will have all good clean oil in there. Be interested to see what the oil is like coming out as well, actually. So as you can see, we've got the filter off. So I've got the Febby kit. This Febby kit here comes with new screws, comes with a gasket, comes with the new plug for the connector, and it comes with a new filter. So we'll apply all of those, and also what we got is a replacement pan So we've got the replacement pan here. There's our pan. And what we'll do is we'll transfer the magnet from the old pan. All these nuts, all these screws are done up now. They're done to 8 Newton meters, according to Mercedes Whiz. We put this cover back on, and it's ready to now be filled, which we'll show you in the engine bay. So to fill the gearbox back up again, we've got 2 ways of measuring. We've got this, which is where I've now poured all the old oil. You can see we've got just over 4 litres that came out. We've also got this, which is a Febby dipstick for the oil. It's basically a copy of what Mercedes have. You have a low temperature and a high temperature. So when it's cold, we'll fill it up with what we know we've taken out, which is that amount. And then when it's up to temperature, we can measure it with this dipstick at low as well. But when it's up to temperature, 90 degrees, which will be running for about half an hour, I guess, we can then check the oil level again and top up as needed. So that's how we're going to do it. And if I go over to the car, this is what we'll be using. Mercedes T3614 ATF fluid. And what I've done is I've removed the MAF sensor for the time being to give us more space, and I've fashioned this old container so that I can pour the ATF into there, and it'll go down the fill pipe there into the transmission. So I'm going to get on with that and then do our measure and see what we get. Okay, so we've filled her up with the 4 litres that we took out. We checked it with the dipstick on cold, and it's in the middle. So now we've got it all back together again. I'm gonna run her probably for a good half hour to get her up to temperature, and then we check again with the dipstick to make sure the oil level is correct at the higher temperature of 90 degrees. So I'm gonna go and run her now. So we've we've got it running up to temperature, and as you can see we've got the dipstick in there now. I'll take it out and I'll show you what it reads. And hope you can see that, but we're just on the line for the higher temperature. So this line here, I know it's a bit hard to see in this light, but the oil is just up to that bit. So that's perfect really. I mean, we could put a little bit more in, but you know, we're at the minimum at least, or within the 80 degrees limit area, so I'm happy with that. Today I'm going to be doing some underside treatment basically of the chassis. I was going to Lano guard it, but I've decided to go with another product. So yeah, I was going to Lano guard it, but I realized that Lano guard is just to sort of protect what's there, and it needs to be put on very regularly. However, a product I've used in the past was this Genelite, and it's rust converter. So not only is it a treatment, but it also takes where there is rust back to metal, and I've used it on a few cars and it really does work. So what we're going to do first is I want to take off this rear bumper. I've been led to believe there's just a few screws in here, here and here. I want the bumper off firstly because I wanted to repair this bumper anyway. We're going to use some fiberglass sort of product to repair that, and then do a respray and see how that goes. And then it'll expose the whole back bar and then everything underneath for me to use the Genelite. The first stage is getting the bumper off, and because this is an Ml55 with the AMG body kit, the rear bumper is completely different from any other ML. On the internet they'll show you that there's 4 bolts sort of located here and here somewhere. No, on the body kitted AMG you have this little Velcro strip. It's literally held with Velcro. It's very weird. Held with Velcro, which covers these 4 bolts, and then underneath you've got 2 straps this side and that side, with 2 bolts on each strap that need undoing. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and get this bumper off. Parking sensors, and what was a bit annoying is with previous Mercs I've had, you could just disconnect possibly around here somewhere the parking sensors, so the actual connections would stay on the bumper. But on this particular car anyway, we had to remove the connections because I couldn't see anywhere, either inside or outside, where you could disconnect this cable and leave them on the bumper. So yeah, that's taken a bit of time, but this is what we're looking at. So it's given me access to, you know, do some Genelite on those bits there, and also I can then repair the bumper as well, as I say, with the fiberglass technique I'm going to try. So we'll crack on and start using this Genelite. we've got it down to all the rust has gone and we've sanded down. There's just a couple, if you put a finger over it, it's very smooth except for a couple of bits. I'm kind of hoping that when we do the primer, it will fill in that and then we can sand it back down smooth again. The same with the back. If I just show you the back. These areas are very smooth, but it's just, you know, if you're being picky, there's a couple of bits that we can feel the finger is feeling the roughness. Same with this one. This is all smooth. This one's the same, very smooth, except for maybe one or two little pits, which I'm hoping the primer will fill in. And these ones behind the where the registration plate's going to go, I'm not too fussed about those because they're going to be behind the registration plate. Remember, I'm not a professional, I've not done this before. I just want to get this looking decent and treated, which is what it is now. So I'm going to isopropyl clean down all the sanded areas, mask off the other areas so that I don't end up spraying all over the car. And I'm going to give it just a coat of primer and see how that goes. So we've flattened down the first primer. Now done some filling, very small amounts, but enough to make it more smooth. As you can see, the other door one. This is ultra smooth now. It's really good. And now we're going to add another layer of primer and let it harden overnight. So there we have the second lots of primer going on. Looking good. And onto the door. Looking good. Wait for that to dry overnight now, and then that'll be carrying on. So here is the back now. It's had a few coats on it. I think about three coats of paint. We're going to be putting the gloss on it soon. Once the gloss is on it, the gloss lacquer, sorry, it hopefully will bring it up as close as possible to the original paint colour. And down the side, here's the sides painted, ready for its gloss. And we also did up here as well, and that'll be ready for its gloss soon once it's dried enough. So all the rust has been repaired on this side, and the back has been repaired. It's not a fantastic paint job, but I'm not a professional. This was purely to get it looking presentable. So I'll show you when we're doing the lacquer. So we're going to put our clear lacquer, gloss clear lacquer on these parts now. probably do 2 or 3 coats of this, and in between each coat will give about 10 minutes. So that's the rear done, and we just go down the side. So we have the side done as well now. So yeah, all good. So I'm turning my attention to this bumper that's got this wonderful big hole in it here. I'm going to be using this product called Isopon Fast Glass Resin. And what you do is you basically mix up a concoction here of a hardener and whatever that is, and you add on fiberglass sheets. So I've cut myself some sheets, and I guess, yeah, we'll start putting these in place and start building it up. And it takes about half hour to harden, and then you can fill it out and sand it and do whatever. I've masked up areas that I don't want to get dirty. Let's see how we get on with this. I'm going to go and mix up the stuff. Apparently for every 10 mil you've got to put a P of the hardener, and we'll see what happens. Here we are with the bumper. This is now the P38 that we've put on. Yes, it looks a mess, but remember, we're going to wait for it to dry and then sand it down, then probably fill up another load, because we want to try and get it as smooth as we possibly can. So yeah, it's a matter of using this stuff, letting it dry, and then sanding it down until we get a decent smooth finish. Okay, so we've got the point now where it's all sanded down and smooth. I'm going to mask off areas and give it a layer of paint, and we'll see what it looks like then. Went really well though, and it's, as I say, it's nice and smooth, at least to the touch. We'll see what the paint reveals. Okay, we're all sort of masked up. Going to use some isopropyl just to clean it, and then we're going to put a layer of paint down on this. Done, and the sides touched up. Obviously it's going to need wet sanding when it's all dried in a day's or so time, but I think that's come out okay actually. Yeah, happy with that. Okay, we've completed the back of the car, all the rust sorted. Next couple of weeks I'll give it a proper buff, but yeah, done. Happy with that. Now on to other things. Okay, we're going to deal with the rust that's on the front of this Ml55 Amg. We took off the main grille. There's 10 screws in total. The top ones are fine. These bottom 4 were heavily rusted in and were very difficult to get out. However, they didn't break, which is good. We're going to soak them in some sort of like liquid to release all the rust and stuff. But the next stage we're going to do now is sand this down and then use gelinite to treat the metal and bring it back to metal as opposed to it being rust. So we're going to get on with that now. We've sanded it down now. We've got to the metal. There's a couple of bits like here where it will need a bit of filler to make it completely smooth. But now we're going to add the gelinite and leave it and get it to do its work, bringing this rust back to metal. We also did the holes where the grille sits because they had a bit of rust on them. And as I say, we're going to dump the screws inside the gelinite as well to get them better. So let's add the gelinite. Right, we've got the primer down and it looks smooth other than a couple of areas like here and here, which we're going to use the P38 filler on. So we'll use the P38 filler on that, let that dry, which takes about half hour, and we'll sand it down again, and then we might be ready for our first layer of paint. Okay, so we've got our P38 filler. We'll let this dry, then sand it down and go from there. We've managed to fill all the tiny little holes and cracks and stuff, so this should hopefully look really smooth when it's dry. Okay, we've got it smooth. We've got our primer on, so we're now going to put some coats of black paint on and see how we get on. Right, we've got our black paint on now, and we're going to start doing our lacquer layers, and it's looking quite good. No sign of rust, which is always nice. Got our lacquer on now, and we'll let that dry 24 hours and then flatten it by wet sanding it down and then buffing it along with the original paintwork so that it matches in. The initial compound polishing, just compound. So I'm going to put the grill back in, take off all the paper, the cover stuff, and let's see what it looks like when it's all fitted back together. And there we go, job done. Grill on, rust repaired, looking decent, happy with the outcome. So here is the wing. This is what we're going to fix. It'll be a matter of sanding it down, geliniting it to protect it and treat it, and then priming it and then spraying it. So let's get to work on that. About 3 coats of paint on this, and it's ready for the gloss lacquer now, which should be coming at some point today. Obviously painted it, and notice there's a dent in the wing here, I don't think I'm clever enough to get that dent out, so I'm going to leave it as is. The main thing was that the rust has been repaired and looking good. So yeah, we'll do the gloss spray of that and hopefully get it back on the car. There we go. So the wing is now on. Today we're going to look at drains. Yes, drains. So basically I've come to fill down here and there's a little bit of wet. So we know that the sunroof drain, which goes down the A-pillar here, has got an issue. It's supposed to meet somewhere around the bottom here, an elbow, which then sort of goes to a pipe around about here. We may have to take this wing off to get to it. I don't know. It depends on if the elbow is bunged up or if it's the matter that the pipe, because this car is 20 odd years old, it's shrunk and has decided to disconnect itself. But we're going to take this out and have a look. So let's have some fun and stop this carpet getting wet. So let's see if I can show you it. It might be a bit awkward with the camera, but you see that elbow there? I can just about see that the cable, the pipe that's supposed to be in it is not in it. It's literally just about, I don't know, you see the gap there, there's about ½ an inch gap between the actual pipe and the elbow joint. So obviously the rubber has shrunk over time. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo the A-pillar here and see if we can push the pipe down a bit or get something to it. And if not, we'll just have to get an extender. I've got a little extension on it. It's going to be awkward to get to. Always along with these sort of things, but yeah, it's just there, the elbow. You can see it sticking out. The pipe is, as I say, about ½ an inch too short, so it's shrunk over time. So let's get on with that. Okay, so we've taken the A-pillar off. This would be a good time for us to re-stick this and clean it up as well. They're known for just coming apart like this, so yeah, some good glue will fix that and then we can clean that up. But this is the pipe that comes from the sunroof, and I'm thinking maybe jiggle it about here, maybe give it a bit more, but I think ultimately maybe cut it about here, get a new pipe that will go much longer down so it's easy to get to that elbow, and do a joiner. That's probably the best way to go with this. So I think that's what we'll do to fix this. Here's the pipe, pulled it out of its little hole area, and so get some joiner that will join that and another pipe about the same sort of size, and get it back down that hole and down the bottom underneath. How I've thought about this drain, I think rather than rely on that elbow, which is likely to drop out again, I mean it's done it once before, I think I'm going to go ahead and take this wing off. So we have some bolts up the top here to take off. There's bolts, as you can see there, and up the top there. So now with the wing off, you can actually see what we're talking about, this grommet here. And to be fair, it looks like it's filled up anyway. So I think we're going to pull the pipe out and put it, let it come out here somewhere and let it drip down naturally. I think that's what we'll do. So here's the plug that came out of that hole there. So the pipe we're going to do is going to come down here and out here now and down the side here, I think. That's how we're going to do it from here. But you can see this plug was completely blocked. So even if the pipe had been in there, it just never would have soaked away because it was blocked. It's a weird design by Mercedes, it really is. Look at it, it's full of crap. So yeah, we're going to get on with putting the new pipe down from the A-pillar and then through that hole. So as you can see, I've got my new pipe coming up there. It's going to join, I'm going to cut both and join it up out the A-pillar, and the pipe now comes out of there and runs down there, where it will safely drain away from the car. I might try and use that rubber grommet somehow here, just to protect it from the edge of the metal. Let's see how we go with that. I think that was a success, because look, I poured water into the drain, the sunroof drain. It came down the pipe and out successfully. As you can see, there's the join. It's gone down the pipe from the A-pillar and successfully gone out the car without causing water down in my footwell. So now we'll put it all back together. Happy with that. So I've just done some general light on some areas that were showing that they got some surface rust. So give it a bit of protection before I put the wheel liner back on. I'm going to clean up the wheel liner, give it a hose down, and put that back in place, and then sort out getting the wing back on after it's been sanded down, primed and cleared of all its rust and painted. The drain is now fixed. We'll repeat the whole process on the other side, the left hand side now. So yeah, job done. So today you join me, I'm going to do some work on the ML. It's early evening, and one of the jobs that this ML needs is the washer bottle replaced, and possibly the pumps as well. I've got the pump already, and I'm waiting for delivery of the bottle, which will be the next couple of days, but I thought I'd get ahead of the game and start taking it apart. It's an absolute faff of a job, I have to say. So basically you have to remove the headlights slightly, get to these bolts down here and up here by removing the trim that just goes underneath. It's just a clip-on trim. Do that both sides just to enable you to move the headlights forward enough, and then you have to remove these bolts to remove the cross member. This will then give you enough room to be able to access the bits that you need down here somewhere, which I'll show later. And then we have to disconnect the battery. Why? Because we're going to have to move the fuse box, which I'll show again later. So I'm going to get on with getting this front member off and these bolts off. I don't know how much of it I'm going to do tonight, but I thought we'd get started, ready for when the washer bottle comes. So the cross member's moved enough now, and the reason why we're moving it is to get to that bolt just there. And then once that's done, we then move on to the next stage, which is disconnect the battery and start disconnecting all the wires there. So we've now undone this bolt down here, and we've disconnected the cables, as you can see. Next thing we're going to do is these 4 Torx 20 bolts, and with that off, we're then going to try and lift the fuse board out so that we can see 2 further bolts which hold this cage in. We will need to release those bolts just to give us enough room so that it will then release this water tank. It's crazy how much you have to remove to get to it, but you know, good old Mercedes engineering. I just want to show you the bolts you're trying to get to. One's there and the other one's in the middle of that melee, but basically you have to undo these bolts to lift up the fuse box so that you can access that, and that will allow you to then move this cage enough to get the water bottle out. So new washer bottle arrived. As you can see, we've got it in place. Didn't come with a cap, don't know what that's all about. I have to sort something out there. Got the bolt in down there, starting to put the frame, this bar across. Then we'll put the lights back in place, make sure it's all connected up, then sort out the fuse box, and then give it a go. Make sure we can hear those pumps, because I have actually got a replacement pump as well, but I'm not sure we're going to need it. So we'll get it all buttoned up first, and then we'll do a test. So we've got the washer bottle in. Managed to pick up this lid. This was £4 off of eBay. Giving the engine bay a bit of a clean, so it looks a little bit nicer now, and also cleaned out the nozzle jets. Now we're going to see if this works. Okay, let's see. Perfect. Yep, I can hear the jets working. So that to me is a result. So now we're inside the car. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, great. We have working washers. That's really good news. Basically, these are the speaker window, front door window speaker trims, and it seems to happen quite a lot that the peg breaks here. So what I've done is I've actually got hold of the metal peg bit, and I've used some hot glue, you know, from the glue gun, this little contraption here, and glued that back on. I don't know if it's going to work, but I think it's worth giving it a go. I've done it to both sides because both sides were hanging off. It's a cheap fix because people want to charge quite a bit of money for replacements of these, and even then a lot of them that were up for sale had the pegs missing. So just let that harden, and then I'm going to try it in the car. Fingers crossed it works. And behold, it worked. Look, one trim put back in place. That was a nice fix, nice cheap fix. I like it when things work like that. I think this is going to be a short video, but basically while I was looking over the engine and seeing what's going on, basically I noticed that this, which is the auxiliary water pump, didn't seem to be doing much. I couldn't see any signs of the pump, you know, pushing air or whatever into this reservoir for coolant, and I couldn't feel the motor on it underneath working at all. So long story short, what this video is going to be is basically me replacing this with a new part. And I'm not getting any issues with the engine, I'm not getting any signs or even any codes that that's not working. But to me, it just doesn't seem to be working at all. The motor or the pump inside it is not working. Now, bearing in mind, this is responsible for pushing and pumping around the circuit coolant, and also helps with the heating inside the car and maybe other things as well. But that's what this video is going to be. It's just me replacing that. And the idea being, we're going to clamp this pipe here and this pipe here, and then swap over those pipes into the new part, and then pop the part in place. There doesn't seem to be like any bolts or anything you've got to undo. This literally slips off this bracket here, and the new part slips into that. So that's what we're going to be recording. We'll see how we get on, and we'll see if it makes any changes to the actual running of this ML. Today's challenge on the ML is this cat. I think it's previously had a hole and tried to be sealed, and it looks like it's got another one. Anyway, we've got a new exhaust, a new cat come, so I now need to undo those bolts there and all the other things that retain this exhaust and replace it. So for easier access, gone in via the wheel liner. There's our 2 bolts. We'll undo those. There's a O2 sensor we've got to also take off and undo. I think the bracket's up there somewhere. And a lower O2 sensor which we also need to undo. So here we are with the exhaust. We've got this bracket off. We've got the bracket up there loosened, ready to take off. And we've got the bolts up there now out. I've just got this O2 sensor to get off. This one up there, and as I say, this one we've already got out ready. So yeah, we're getting there. Okay, so we've got the old one out, and the new one is BM catalysts. They're Europe's leading catalyst supplier, and this is for the exact Ml55. So we've got the new exhaust in with the new cat, literally just as it started to decide to rain. I have to say, this wasn't an easy job. It really was a struggle at times, but we got there. Literally took all day to do it. Really not looking forward to doing the other side if I have to do it, but the exhaust is in, and I'm gonna go and grab some food now, but we'll run it and see how she is with the new exhaust. Okay, so we've started her up. All gone well so far. What's interesting, there's no smoke whatsoever. Now usually I'd get some smoke coming out of here, so maybe the cat was damaged enough that caused this to smoke, because there's none. So that was a good result. So I'm really pleased with that. That, my friends, is job done, and also at a good price, because that exhaust was only 150 quid, brand new. So we all know about the valve cover gaskets, which are the gaskets this side and this side which can leak. I will be replacing those, but particularly today, I don't know if you can see, but there's a bit of an oil leak going on down there, just there. And this is coming basically from the cooler and the oil filter housing. So there's gaskets that go here and in between here. They're the ones we're going to replace this morning. It shouldn't take too long, and it's not really that difficult a job to do. But we'll film it and let you see what's going on, and we'll clean up this area, and that will stop this constant leaking of oil in that particular space. So we're going to remove the engine cover, and then we'll need to remove the oil filter so that we can actually start seeing the bolt that needs undoing under there. A few things that are required, obviously the gaskets. Now Mercedes did have these gaskets. Weirdly enough, they wanted to charge like £16 just for some very small, these 2 small gaskets, £16 each. So they would have been like £32, and this one was then only £3. Anyway, got these all from Febby. Everything there came to 9 quid. So it's 49403, 49402, and 173982, which is the bit that goes underneath the oil filler. Let's put them to the side there a minute. Let's get this off. Get that out of the way for now. This is what we need undoing, and for that you're going to need one of these. This looks like it's a number 14 that goes on there, and for the bolt that's inside you need a 46mm socket. That will undo the bolt that's actually in there. Now the main things I'm going to do first is undo the 4 screws around this first. The reason I'm going to do that is because I think it'll be easier to loosen this and then undo this big bolt that's in here. But basically we've got 2 gaskets that will go here and here, and 1 at the bottom of this. So I'm going to start by undoing these. So you'll need a Torx 27 to undo these 4 bolts. The 3 here are okay to get to, but the one down the side here is a bit awkward to get to, and realistically you're probably going to have to remove the secondary air pump just so that you can gain access to that. So I'm going to go ahead and undo this bracket here so that I can get this out and give me more space to be able to get to that bolt. Okay, so we just got it loose with the breaker bar. And there are the two gaskets that we're going to seal there, and I'll show you inside. That's the other gasket here that we're going to replace. So we're going to clean this up and put the new gaskets in. Done. And that's pretty much it. Job done, and quite cheap. So for the sake of just £10 and 30 minutes of your time, you can fix 3 known M113 engine leaks. I think that's a bargain. So we're in the ML. What we're going to do is we're going to tackle the pollen filter. There's the February part number. It should be quite simple, a matter of just these 2 screws or bolts to be undone. Drop this. That should allow us to then get to where the filter resides. This box here is where we need to replace a filter. So it's quite straightforward. It's this clip here. Pull that clip. There you go. And all we do is pull down on this. Now look how filthy that is. That is just vile. That is what we're replacing. I mean, wow, look at the crud that came off that. I don't know when this was ever done. But that's why it's important to do your pollen filters. Okay. Still more crud's coming out. Nasty. Use my other hand. a lot of stuff that's come out of the dirt. Okay, so putting the new one back in is nice and easy. So this is the new one. This is the Febby part. This tab here is what we see at the bottom, so it's going to go in kind of like that, I guess. This, so let's see if we can get it up there. There we go. And once that's up there, it's really just a matter of popping this back on. And there you go, we're locked back in. So we'll put that tray back on, the under tray, and clean up this mess we've now created. I'll remind you of what the dirty one was like. There's the dirty one. That's rough, isn't it? Horrible. Okay, so job done. We're going to have a look. We're going to have a look at putting these side steps on. Miserable, rainy UK, but we're going to give this a go. Notice I've got it up on ramps so we can get underneath a bit easier. I'll show you what the kit includes. We have this kit here with these brackets. So bearing in mind that we're trying to do, for instance, the driver's side, from what it looks like is I need one of these. That goes at the front. So basically this end bolts onto what's already on the car. And this end then goes onto the side steps, as you can see from that picture there. So that's the front. We have this bigger one, which seems like it's straight at the back. So I'm going to go underneath the car on the driver's side and see if I can work out where these sort of link to, where these bolt to, and yeah, we'll go from there. So here we are under the car. The idea is it wants us to put this bracket, it's quite hard to show you because my hand's in the way, but this bracket here, and as you can see, it would then protrude out for us to put the steps on. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these, set the camera up, put these in place. I presume at the other end there's similar holes where the other bracket will fit into. So yeah, let's give this a go and see how we get on. Okay, so these are the instructions for the bull bar. You get these nuts and bolts, some brackets, some weird washer things, and some further brackets. And looking at the instructions, I mean, I'll go to the back page first, and it confirms what we were saying about where we're putting these brackets. These holes, remember I showed you? And there we can see the brackets in place. So if we have a look here at the instructions, this is the setup of them. Now it seems to me that what we do, because the holes are small, we have to push these through somehow, those holes that we saw, and so you'd sort of like go in like this, so this is showing, and yeah, then tighten with bolts from the other side, or maybe not, don't know. I'm gonna have to have a look and see what they're actually saying there. But this is the instructions we've got, and this is the tools we have. So I'm going to go back underneath and try and work out how these brackets actually sit there and how we get these bolts through. So here we are under the ML. These need to go in there. You can see me putting it in the hole, in there, so they pop out this way. And then once that's in place, this bracket will then go like that. It's quite hard to show you on the video. See if I can set up the camera so that you can watch me doing it. Now we've got the two brackets on, we can offer up the bull bar and see how that fits, and go from there. Okay, so here she is with the bull bar and the side steps. Now, I personally really like them. I know there's going to be people that don't like this sort of modification. You know what? It's my ML, not yours. But at the end of the day, I think it looks great, and really pleased with the result. So yeah, we'll continue with work on this ML, but I think she looks pretty good with that bull bar and those side steps. So here we are in the on the ML's engine bay. We've got some new valve cover gaskets to do either side, new hoses, all the hoses for the PVC, and I think we've got a new EGR valve to go at the back. Also got a new coolant tank to go in, and I think there's also stuff for the steering rack, so we're going to have like a new steering filter and a new steering rack I think we're going to be putting in the end, don't know. But in the meantime, we're going to strip this down, take out the airbox, take off the covering of the engine so that we can get proper access to what we're doing here, disconnect all the coil packs. Probably going to do this side first, because this side seems to have the worst leak of the gasket towards the back. You may have seen on a previous video how right at the back there it's leaking. So yeah, let's start stripping this down, and then I can go over what we're probably going to achieve first here. So we've got our new piping made up now, the old bits along the side and the new one on the air box, and we'll have the fun of getting these back in. But while we're at the back though, I'm going to look at this EGR valve. So we want to get this EGR valve out. You can see it there. That's this here. We want to get the valve out so we can do some tests on it, make sure it's behaving itself. From what I remember, there's two bolts. There's one kind of in there and one there. Once again, a bit awkward to get to, but we'll get those two out. And then there's two there that we also need to unscrew. At least we've got some room now to do this, so let's get this off. Okay, so that's how we placed EGR valve back in now. And now we'll carry on putting the hoses back in and the air filter, and put all this back together this side, and then it's finally onto the other side. pipes, PVC pipes are back on. This is all buttoned down now. So I guess we'll put the coil packs back on, then we'll fill up the coolant tank, and then we'll be ready for a start. Okay, I think that's job done. We have 0 leaks. There's a bit of smoke where it's burning off the previous leaks, but pretty much all gone. The coolant is good. It's running to temperature. Very, very happy with this. That came out. So yeah, the ML's been looked after. Today it's engine mount time for the ML. So let me show you what we've got. We have 2 Febby engine mounts. They're both the same, left and right. These are front engine mounts, obviously, because that's where the engine is, at the front. And we're going to go through the process of getting this car set up for us to be able to start work on it. It's going to involve us having to first of all remove the passenger side wheel, because we need to remove the wheel liner to get access to one of the brackets, but the driver's side should be a bit easier for us. So let's get started. Okay, so that's the passenger side all in and done. All the bolts are back in. We're leaving loose the mount itself for the time being, because obviously we've got the other side to do. So this apparently is the harder side, we'll see. So now we're going to go to the passenger side. Oh, sorry, the driver's side. So here we have a nice clear access, as you can see. So those bolts, those 4 bolts are what we've got to undo. Remove the engine mount and the bracket, and then replace. So let's get on with that. Okay, so we've got her back on the ground, wheels on both sides. Must admit, with the new engine mounts, the engine seems to be sitting a bit higher now. Hey, we're back in the ML and engine running, and what's really good is the shaking is completely stopped. Before you would sort of shake about, so I guess the engine mounts clearly did need doing, but yeah, shaking is gone. Hi YouTubers, welcome to the channel. So today, these old faded Mercedes-Benz calipers, decided we're going to paint them. Now, to be fair, I wanted to do a nice bronze colour, because I think bronze and black goes well, but having a look on the Tinternet, I saw that bronze, in the world of Mercedes AMG at least, means ceramic, which these clearly are not. So I've decided to go with red. Yeah, well, I still think it's going to look nice, or certainly better than what this is. So the first thing I'm going to do is tape all the areas up that I don't want painting, We're going to give it a clean with a wire brush and some brake fluid and brake cleaner fluid, and then we'll start putting on the paint. And for when I finish, I've got some nice AMG high heat resistant decals that I'm going to put on. So yeah, let's get on with this and see how it looks at the end. Range of decals here. I'm kind of thinking maybe that one's a bit too big, so maybe the ones underneath would fit well. The curved ones just wouldn't work on these brake calipers, so I think I'm going to try this size. So today is the day when we have to redo again the steering rack on this Ml55. Not looking forward to it. As we've already done a video before, most of this video will be time-lapse, so you don't have to go through the whole thing again, but I will bring out key points of where we're up to and what we're doing. But yeah, really not looking forward to this, but here we go. Okay, so the ML is now jacked up. As you can see, it's on axle stands. So let's now get the wheel liner off and yeah, carry on. We've got the the steering column to disconnect, which is obviously these bolts here. Then take off the shield and do the lower one. So yeah, let's get on with that. Hey, that's the steering column off. So we're progressing. So I guess next we'll take off the tie rod ends while we're here. Okay, the old rack, or should I say the reconditioned rack that is no good, is back out again. As you can see, the space is empty. Same trick as before, jacking up the differential gets us about, I don't know, 3 inches maybe, if that, and just enough room to wriggle this one out. Right, so now we're ready for my original reconditioned one to go back in. Wow, what a job this is, but I'm definitely getting quicker. Yeah, I think this took me about 45 minutes to get out, which, you know, a lot quicker than the first time, which took many hours. So yeah, I'm obviously learning. Okay, so we have rack number 2 now in. Yes, once again, pain in the backside to get in, but we got there. Just of note, now that it's in, if I can just up there, you can see the arrow, if I can point it out, the arrow there on the steering rack matches up with the line on the actual input shaft. So we know that's correct for when we progress to the next stage of getting the steering column back in place. So yeah, all done. My reconditioned rack there now. Okay, new rack is in, and look, no ESP VAS light. So the engine's running. We've been turning the steering wheel, you know, doing left to right turns to get the bubbles out. Remember about the bubbles? Let me show you. But yeah, good news, no ESP light. This is the bubble situation, nearly all gone, and we'll let it run for a bit longer, and then we'll check the measurements with the dipstick, and that will finally be job done, thank God. So no more leaking steering rack, and yeah, wasn't enjoyable doing it twice, but you know what, at least we got the job done. So look forward to being able to drive it now and actually enjoy it. Our YouTubers, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be changing the idler pulley on the Ml55 behind me. Now, it's not that there was anything actually wrong with the idle pulley on this car. However, as you know, I've sold the CLK. Just a little sneak bit of information here. The CLK sold to my son. So I'm still going to get to see the car. It will probably still come up on the channel every now and then when we need to do work on the car. So that's a really good bonus. Anyway, my son came up the other day, and this was his idler pulley. Completely split in half, and his belt was also in half. So the quick solution to that was to take the pulley, the idler pulley, off of my ML, put it onto his CLK, because they're both the same engine, and he was on his way. But of course that means I now have to replace my one. So I've gone and got myself the Febby idler pulley, and that's the little challenge we're going to do today, because obviously it means we have to put the belt back in place as well. So let's get on with that. So this is where the idler pulley goes on. Obviously the belt we'd need to put all back in place as well, because yeah, that's been moved out of place. There is down, very well hidden basically, down here somewhere, is the tensioner bolt that we would then need to put our 17mm socket on, and a breaker bar to sort of lever it to the left so that we can get some slack. And to put the actual idler pulley back on, you have this, I don't know what number it is. There you go, T30 is that? Sorry, T50. T50, which will then do up this very long bolt. The bolt is very long, which means that realistically you have to be a bit creative in being able to get it down there and back in with the idler, the new idler pulley on. But you know what, we're up for a challenge, so let's give it a go, and let's see how we get on with this. Okay, let's get this show on the road. So we want a new idler pulley, a new Febby idler pulley. Comes with this nice little cover as well. Interestingly, I said to Jason, who now has the CLK and now has my second-hand idler pulley, I said to him it is second-hand, so I would highly suggest you go out and buy yourself another new one, just to make sure. So we want to get our screw kind of in place. I guess what we can do is put it in between the fans, then get it in the hole and over the pulley. Right, our idler pulley is in place, and you'll notice possibly that it's not free spinning, and that's correct. When these free spin, I don't know if it'll show like that, and it just keeps going, although that one does slow down quite a bit, but when they keep going, it means the bearing's gone, so it's time to change it anyway. So there we go, we've got our new idler pulley on now. Now it's a matter of getting the belt all back in place. Always the fun bit. So what I'm doing first is I'm checking to make sure it's all routed correctly. If you look on the screen now, probably I will show you a diagram of how the belt should go. I'm checking that that's correct and it's actually in place. So bear with me. Let's see if we can unclip the hose. There we go. Might be able to lift it up more. Maybe not. Maybe what I should do is push the hose to that side. There we go. Now go back on here. Like that. There we go, just a little bit more, and we're on. There we go, job done. And yes, I will get a new belt just to make sure that everything's all running good. So, job done. So here's our fuel rail with the old injectors. As you can see, some of them lost their rubber seals. Yeah, definitely time to replace these, I feel. And what we replaced them with, because you can't get these anymore. So my plan is, like I did with the CLK, I bought these from A Premium. So they are identical to OEM. The ones in the CLK have been running really well, no issues whatsoever. So we're going to give these a go again. And that, I guess get these reconditioned so that I have a spare set, or if I need to fall back to these, I can. So we remove these. We use this, the Licky Moly sort of injector or glow plug grease, because it helps you to actually seat these a lot easier into these rails that we have to unclip these injectors from. And then yeah, it'll be time to place the fuel rail back. So let me get on with that. Okay, that's it. That's our new injectors on. Obviously we'll put it on the ML now. Remove these caps, put some of this grease on, and then push it into the hole. And there's our old ones now, which we can send away to get reconditioned. These are nice ones. The only problem is that they're such a bright colour that obviously I've made them dirty outside already. Bit of a shame, but hey ho. Let's get this on the ML. because I have this LPG as well. But the key thing is here, we want to get those injectors into the inlet, both sides, and then once you've done that, we can then worry about connecting all the cables and that. So I'm going to be using a little mallet thing now to knock the rail further into the hole. So here goes.
Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be working on the ML. The annoying loss of power has reared its ugly head again. This time around though, I think it's actually something to do with the fuel filter. It looks like the fuel filter hasn't been changed maybe ever, or if it has, then it certainly hasn't been recently. And I think we've got an issue with fuel, not enough pressure. Let me show you what we got here. We've got a fuel pressure kit here. We're going to use that on this Schrader valve so that we can see how much pressure is actually being built in the fuel rail. Now, really ideally we want something between 50 and 60 psi, and it needs to be consistent, not fluctuating all over the place. So it'd be interesting to see what we actually get when we connect this up. So let me get it all connected up and then we'll show you what we're doing. Okay, so we've got the Schrader valve connected. As you can see, this is screwed on nice and tight. Yep, nice and tight. I've got the valve into an old Vedex, so that I can reuse the fuel when I want to let off the pressure with this little valve here. But now what we'll do is we'll turn on the engine and see what we get at idle initially. And as I say, we want to see this going up to about between, I don't know, 50 and 60 psi, but we certainly don't want to see it fluctuating all over the place. So let's see what it gives us. Okay, this is good because we are getting a consistent like 52. I think what we'll do now is we'll rev the engine and see what we get. Okay, so that seems to be holding the pressure really well, even under load. What I'm going to do now is turn the engine off and see what it gets, like to see if it keeps this pressure with the engine off, because that will let us know if the fuel filter is actually okay with the you know, the regulator and the little valve inside. See, it's kept the pressure, really not dropped much at all, to be honest. I mean, that is a good sign. It definitely is a good sign, but then it doesn't explain my power loss, does it? Further investigating, I guess. I want to replace the fuel pump on this Ml55. As you know, we've got misfire issues. I'm wondering if it is fuel related, so we're going to do the fuel filter, but I also think it's worth changing the pump. So have a look here. Fuel pump that's underneath the seating, and it's a matter of disconnecting these, the power, and yeah, unscrewing this and getting it out. Now obviously I want to get as much fuel out of the system as possible, so my idea for this, if I show you, change, because the actual fuel filters actually K2, it looks like on here, electric fuel pump, sorry, not fuel filter but fuel pump. It's K2 up in here. Now I make that K1 F13 K2, I would make that one there. There's a gap in that one. Yes, it's this one here. This is our fuel filter, so I'm going to get that out and then we'll try and run the engine. Right, so we have a relay and we have a 20 amp fuse on 13, as you can see here, electric fuel pump gasoline, which is on the same sort of bracket which we've now taken out. So now we'll run the car and hopefully it will just eventually die because it will run out of fuel. Because the engine no longer can switch over, so we can disconnect the battery now and then start disconnecting that fuel pump. The fuel pump we've got, brand new, and there's our new seal lid, which I guess is a replacement for that here. So yeah, let's start getting these off and see what's involved.
back up. The fuel filter will do later, but for now I want to make sure this pump works. Obviously when this is complete and job's done, we need to reseal this onto here to stop fumes coming into the cabin, and then obviously all the carpet goes back and all the chairs. But for now I'm going to leave it open so we can see what's going on. So I'm going to put those that relay and the fuse back on, and then we'll start the car. Key in. Let the pump prime for a bit. Now let's go for a start. Just check in on our fuel filter. See, we've got the rear axle jacked up, the wheel off, and the wheel cover off, and that allows us to gain access to this fuel filter in there. And in here we can disconnect these two pipes to hopefully pull it out. So it's time to do this fuel filter. Basically we've taken off the passenger side wheel, rear wheel, and the cover, and hidden in there, very old looking fuel filter. Might even be the original, who knows. It's a very tight area. I mean, yeah, how on earth you get that in and out successfully? It's certainly going to be a challenge. Obviously the hoses up top, they go through up there somewhere into the cabin. We'll release those, and that'll give us a bit of movement as well. The first thing to do, I suppose, is undo this bolt here and then start removing it. I'm trying to, at least anyway. Okay, so here you can see the old one, genuine Mercedes, which I guess has been in there since the car was built, 20 odd years old. This is the new one. You can't get these anymore from Mercedes, so this is a third party, made in China, so fingers crossed. But now we need to get this back in. You'll notice the breather hose is different, it's longer on this one, so that'll be interesting. Let's get this back in and get on with the challenge. So because the breather hose was obviously bigger on this replacement one, I've had to fashion a piece of hose here, use a clamp on it, and then use the original clamp on the other end. So we should be able to get this in place now. Starting to get somewhere with this. What a job though, eh? Okay, it was a challenge, but it's in. connected up. It's a very small little hole that they fit this into, seriously, but hey ho, it's there. And as you can see, we're fitted back up in here now with these both hoses on. So we'll put the fuel pump relay and fuse back in, and we'll start her up and make sure she runs well. So she's running, we're just checking for any leaks. All looking good. Checking under here as well, make sure there's no leaks here. All looking good. So we'll put this all back together and obviously seal up this hole now so that we don't get no fumes coming into the cabin. That's the ML all back together now and all running, so I'd guess that is job done. Thanks guys, see you on the next video. So what we're going to do here on the ML is we're going to change some of the hoses that can over many years can get brittle, get holes in them. Let me show you what I mean. These hoses here, to be fair, this one don't look too bad, but these hoses and also these ones that go to here, that go behind the secondary air pump, we're going to replace those, and we'll just know that, I don't know if it'll give it any improvement, but we'll just know that they won't be cracked. What I got was this tubing, this piping from Amazon. Cost me about a tenner for quite a bit really. You can see the thickness there. So we'll give that a go and replace all these. I think what we'll do is we'll get this out of the way so that we've got more room to see behind. We're going to be looking at are these two here that go in this little sleeve, and one goes down there somewhere to this here, I think it is, and one goes to this join here, and this down there. I think we're going to get this out of the way, clean it up as well, get a bit more better view. see here how old and possibly cracked these pipes are, which isn't good. So I'm going to get this off, clean this up, but then also replace these pipes. And it looks like one to there we can get off as well. And then they both pop on up here. So yeah, let's get on with that. I'll show you the condition. I mean, that's probably going to be leaking big time, isn't it? So it's a good job we're doing this, replacing these pipes. And this is brittle. It's supposed to be a bit softer, but yeah, that's very brittle. Yeah, I think it's a good thing we're doing this. Taking the sleeve off, you can see how brittle this is. It's not supposed to be like that at all, really. You could hardly squeeze it. This pipe, yeah, look at the cracks in that. And just take a note of which pipe goes where. So obviously this one goes onto that connector there, and then this one goes onto the what we just took off, which is this, which I'm also going to clean up. Okay, let's go. The pipes have now been replaced. It don't take long, and it's a good sort of like maintenance thing to do, because you know these hoses they do get brittle. They will crack, and as time goes on, because of the heat cycles on the engine. So it's definitely worth doing. You'll notice there's some other ones here, like this one. This seems to go all the way back to the back of the engine there, so maybe I'll do that another time. But yeah, it was quite a good purchase, as I say, from Amazon, because it was like a tenner for that 10 foot. And it's a good maintenance thing to do. So now we'll put the air pump, the secondary air pump back, and that'll be a job done, I guess. That's us done. Pipes replaced. And we can now move on to the next maintenance thing. Hi and welcome to the channel, and it's good to have you around. So today is all about sensors. We're going to replace quite a lot of sensors on this M113 Ml55 engine. Let me show you actually what we're going to be doing. So here is our ML55's engine. We're going to be placing the thermostat, which is down here, but in line with that we'll do the thermostat sensor, which is this one here. We're then going to do the camshaft sensor, and then when I can work out how to get to it, right at the back there, we're going to be doing the crankshaft sensor. It's a bit of a maintenance thing that we're doing on this, really. All these sensors are going to be quite old on this car, possibly even the full 20 odd years of this car's age, so it's time to replace them. I think what we'll do is we'll start off with the thermostat, and then the thermostat sensor first, because that's going to be the most messiest, because obviously we're going to have coolant in these lines and also in the thermostat housing itself. Let me show you the parts we got. So this is the thermostat. This is a Febby part. We then have the thermostat sensor, temperature sensor, once again a Febby part. And then we went with Bosch for the camshaft and the crankshaft sensors. Altogether, all this stuff here cost me around about £70, which I think is quite good. And obviously I'll need some more coolant to top back up again, because I think we're going to lose some coolant. But yeah, let's get on with this. So we've loosened the belt to get the belt out of the way, because you need to get to these two bolts, and then we'll have to take off this and then remove that pipe, this pipe here, and then we can get to the sensor here to replace the temperature sensor. Right, let's carry on. So getting the temperature thermostat sensor out was absolutely painful, mainly because I guess it's been there since the car was built, which meant it had fused with the metal. This is the state of the one that's come out now. This is how much effort had to be put into getting it out. But we'll clean it up now, get the new one in, and then get our new thermostat in as well. So as you can see, the new thermostat is now in. New thermostat sensor is in. We've cleaned up a bit. Obviously we'll need to fill back up now with our coolant. I think we'll move on now to our camshaft sensor this side. Okay, that sensor was much easier. Didn't take no time at all. So now we need to get on with doing the crankshaft one, which is going to be quite interesting because I'm not even sure how we're going to get to that in this engine. Yeah, I'm going to look around, and once I find it I'll let you guys know what the plan is of attack. So right in there, just above the exhaust, there is the crank sensor. I've got him from removing the side, the front wheel cover, and I think that may be a bit easier to get to it, although I'm not sure how my arm's going to reach in there. This should be fun, shouldn't it? So you can see we've got a socket on it now, quite a long extension one. So we'll be able to undo the bolt. My question is, how on earth do we actually get to the sensor itself to get it out though? I think this is going to be very interesting. Okay, we've got the old one out. I must say you need to have fingers of a 3-year-old, but anyway, can you see the hole maybe there? Let's have a look, see if we can get the camera maybe showing. It's very hard to show you. There's the connector you can see just sitting there, but somewhere around down in there is the actual hole where we've got this from. Yeah. Oh, there goes the sensor down into the bottom of the engine. Anyway, it's down there somewhere, and very difficult to get to, as I say. You need very small fingers. Anyway, let's get the new one in now. Okay, so the new sensor's in. Trust me, is there. It's in that area right down there. Absolute pain to get to. I think you can see just maybe here the bolt, and my way of getting the bolt back in and also the actual sensor back in was using blue tack. So bit of blue tack into the socket, kept the screw in place and on a long extension, and then was able to get both the screw and the sensor back in. Plugging it back in was a bit of a nightmare, took some skin off me hands, but you know, you have to endure these things. Okay, so that's those sensors done. We've done the camshaft sensor, we've done the crankshaft sensor, we've done the thermostat itself, and then the thermostat sensor, or the temperature sensor. The whole thing probably took about an hour to 2 hours, maybe hour and a half actually. The hardest part was getting out the thermostat sensor, and then also the crankshaft sensor, getting access to it. But we know those maintenance things are now done on this ML, so yeah, onwards and upwards, and job done. Today is a really important day. We've had this ML about a year now, and today it's going to have its MOT. Let's hope it passes. Come on ML, we want a new fresh MOT for you to celebrate having you for a year.
One eternity later.
So we're back from the test, and I'm so pleased to say we got our pass. That is really good news. So celebrating a year with the ML, we've got a MOT pass, so we're clean for the next year, and we can continue with this project car. But yeah, that's an absolute really good result. Cheers guys. Blood and my tongue keeps bleeding from the words I spit. So sharp, so freezing, so cold. Behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart, or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts peeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times, cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. And I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times, cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings, I'ma be fine, need time.